During her latest operating season, 22,000 passengers benefited from the experience of cruising the British coast with MV Balmoral. So it seems almost unthinkable that there is a severe risk that the ship may not sail again in 2017. But by the end of her second season, it became very apparent that her total earnings would not be sufficient to enable the ship to enter service again without some intensive fundraising taking place. As with the previous season, Balmoral's operators, the White Funnel Limited, chose as its main operating area the ever-popular Bristol Channel. From the resort of Clevedon on the North Somerset coast, Balmoral took many successful cruises out to inspect the two small islands called Flatholm and Steepholm. From the West Somerset resort of Minehead, Balmoral offered cruises down the coast to Porlock Bay. And from the harbour at Ilfracombe, frequent sailings were available down the Atlantic coast towards Bideford Bay. Regular trips were also taken to land and explore the unspoiled and magical island of Lundy, where the Bristol Channel turns into the mighty Atlantic Ocean. Penarth, just a few miles down the coast from Cardiff, was Balmoral's principal destination in South Wales during 2016. From the newly refurbished pier, short cruises were offered down the coast towards Barry. The Welsh seaside resort of Porthcawl was also a popular stop, where passengers could either spend a few hours ashore or take a leisurely cruise along the Welsh heritage coast towards the lighthouse at Nash Point.
I'm going to bring the tyres in because it doesn't look good when people take photographs. You see.
The 2016 season also included a short visit to the Isle of Man and two longer visits to Liverpool and the north coast of Wales, where passengers were able to enjoy a number of very successful cruises right round the island of Anglesey and up through the imposing bridges of the Menai Strait. The Balmoral Fund's plan for the future has always been clear: to sail the Balmoral round the country, visiting as many viable ports, piers and harbours as is possible, thereby imparting the joys of coastal cruising to the general public, right round the UK's coastline. And that is exactly what the ship undertook to do during our 2016 season. OK, we weren't here to view the scenery, but before the race we couldn't resist a few pictures of the Isle of Wight's iconic Needles, at the western end of the island. 1,500 yachts entered the race, and 994 went past the finishing post. Balmoral took up her station in Sandown Bay to enjoy the action. We believe that cruises like this historic coastal trip along part of Dorset's Jurassic coast will ensure that the proud tradition of the United Kingdom's maritime heritage is preserved in the MV Balmoral as an educational example of one of the last working coastal excursion ships. The mounds or forts were armed towers built in the Thames estuary during the Second World War to help defend the United Kingdom. They were operated as Army and Navy forts and named after their designer, Guy Mounds. The forts were decommissioned in the late 1950s, but later in the 1960s they were used as pirate radio broadcasting stations. As can be imagined, a historic ship of nearly 70 years of age is costly to maintain, and there are never-ending lists of mechanical equipment that need renewal so that we can continue sailing into the future. A particular problem has been the ship's generators, which are very old and desperately need replacing. It is believed that the Balmoral is the largest ship ever to undertake this voyage right round the Isle of Sheppey. The Balmoral operators would like to take this trip again next season, but it is no secret that they are going to need to raise a great deal of money before they will be able to do so. For example, she will need to go into dry dock again early in 2017 for her annual inspection. To help fund what needs to be done before Balmoral will again sail up the Thames and under Tower Bridge, the MV Balmoral Fund Limited has launched a huge fundraising appeal. The charity's goal is to raise at least £500,000 in donations to solve the reliability issues and provide the finance needed to bring her out again in 2017 with confidence. A donation from you, however small, would be most welcome. Please go to the Balmoral Fund website and click on the My Donate button on the front page. We look forward to welcoming you on board when we start sailing again next spring, and thank you in advance for your valued support.